We're going to change video files in the back. We're going to change our background here on the dais. This portion of the news conference you can roll video on for the next 15 minutes, and we're going to do a session where we get some full court press questions in. We're going to get back to our queue as well, and we're going to turn things, but before we do all that, we're going to turn things over to Matt Norlander for this introduction.
Where's my placard, Mark? We got Scheyer, we got Flagg.
You're
good. It is my great honor to congratulate and present Cooper Flagg with the National Player of the Year, the Oscar Robertson National Player of the Year on behalf of the United States Basketball Writers Association. It is an organization that's existed for 7 decades. You are the youngest to ever win this award. He's also the 10th Duke player to ever win a National Player of the Year award among the 6 major voting houses. So congratulations to you, Cooper. I want to take you back to your roots in Maine. How old were you when you first thought, I'm good enough to do this, I know I want to do this, and you really developed a pure love of the game of basketball?
I mean, I'll say it's 2 different things of knowing I could do this and this is what I wanted to do, and then having a love for the game. I mean, I think I always, just loved to compete, loved to play basketball from a really young age. As soon as I picked up a ball and was able to start playing, and then as far as an age when I knew I could do it, I don't really know. I mean, I always believed in myself, and I always just let the work show itself and just put in all the hours.
I'll ask you one more, and then we'll take questions from the gallery out there. I want you to speak on the man to your left. What was it about Jon Scheyer that made you, your family, your parents, entrust your future in college to want to play for him, to play for his program, and take me back to the first time you got to know him, and how that relationship is built?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the honesty. Coach Scheyer is always really honest with me. We had a lot of honest conversations, I feel like, and that's something that was always important to me. My AU coaches, my parents are always brutally honest with me, and that's something that I was raised on. So just looking for something like that, and then knowing having a coach that was going to push me, be hard on me, not take it easy on me at all, and get the best out of me. So I think that's where that comes from. And then I can't speak for my parents. I feel like my mom was always, more set on Duke, and my dad was kind of devil's advocate. But yeah. Okay.
Frado, you can do as you please, but I did want to give Jon at least one chance here with sitting up here with Cooper. This is your first National Player of the Year as a head coach, and things have gone so there we go. To experience this moment right here, right now, with him next to you, you got a huge game tomorrow night, but just what does it mean to you as a coach to have had the pleasure to get to coach this guy and the whole team leading up to the big game tomorrow night?
Well, for me, we'll be ready to go tomorrow night and all that, but I do think just so proud of this guy, and what he's done. I have to remind myself it's a year early. Like, he should be graduating high school now, and so to have the season that he's had, I think the stats speak for itself. I think how hard he plays. I think the highlights. I think all those things speaks for itself. But it's the person he is every day. Like, his energy is contagious for our team. He's an amazing leader. The job he's done in the classroom at Duke, just everything he does has taken our program to a new height this year. And he's humble, and up here he's humble. Behind behind the scenes not as much, which I'm good with. That's what I want. But him, his family, they've been a dream come true for me and for us in our program. And obviously we got more work we want to do and to finish this thing off. But couldn't happen to a better guy, and couldn't be more proud of this guy next to me.
All right.
Questions for Cooper or Coach Flagg? Or Coach Scheyer. We're going to go to the.
Congratulations to Cooper. You're now the head coach at Duke.
Promoted. On the right side, let's get back to our questions.
I guess for former head coach now, Scheyer. Coach, I want to ask you about a former player and current coach, Justin Robinson. Obviously, he's coming home to San Antonio. He's from here. You recruited him when he was 14, and then he left to go be a pro, and you recruited him back to your coaching staff. What is it about his work ethic and what he brings to your team that you wanted on this staff, and why have you kind of invested so much time into him?
Well, Justin to see his journey at Duke first and foremost. 5 years at Duke. We recruited him as a walk-on. He could barely walk and chew gum at the same time when he got to us. By the end, he's starting. That team that year, I thought, had a great chance to make a run. He was a starter and doing a great job. And then obviously COVID and all that happened. Played professionally, always kept in touch, and he was as smart as anybody I've ever coached, knowing every scouting report, technique, all of that. And so I always thought he'd be great at this. And so told him, when the time comes, want you back here. And he's been a great guy to have. Just he can get into practice, he can block shots, he can move still. But just his knowledge for the game has been awesome for us to have, and then the experience of a foreign player.
On the left, Eddie.
Hi, it's Eddie Pels from AP. Congratulations, Cooper. And maybe you could weigh in, but maybe you too, Coach, about Houston. Obviously, they might have the country's best defense in some ways, and I was just wondering, when you're looking at them, what you see that they do that maybe other teams don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to give them a lot of credit for what they've been able to do all year long with the pressure and the effort that they play with every single night. I think that's the biggest thing that, from watching all the film and whatnot, just seeing the amount of effort and pressure they're able to put on teams is the biggest thing that I've seen so far.
Well, I would just say, been fortunate or not fortunate to coach against these guys a couple times. One in a scrimmage, and then last year in the Sweet 16. But just watching them on film, any Coach Sampson team, you talk about 5 guys moving as one on defense. They're the epitome of that. Whenever something's happening, you see 5 guys always moving. So the window of opportunity you have is smaller than normal regular game you play. I think the other thing, though, that their offense impacts their defense, because their offense takes time, so it can grind you out. So all of a sudden you can be playing more time defending than you do on the offensive end. So I think it goes hand in hand with what they do on offense and their defense. But they have good individual defenders. But I think by far the best thing they do is how they have 5 guys always moving together.
On the right side up front.
Hey Cooper, Jon Scheyer from IUND. The title that has been following you around this year is the youngest ever. What has that title meant to you and for your confidence in this entire year, knowing that you are the youngest ever to achieve XYZ amount of things?
I mean, I think it's pretty cool, but I think it just speaks to the opportunity I've been given, the work that I've put in, and then my teammates, coaches for just putting me in great positions all year long, great situations, and just letting me be me and letting me do what I do.
On the right side of the aisle, we'll use the back left microphone for Lindsay.
Lindsay Schnell, The Athletic. Cooper, I'm guessing you heard my question to Coach Scheyer, because I think you were probably back there, about your mom promising to get a tattoo if you guys win the national championship. She told us that you get to design it and decide where it goes, but not on her face. So what I wondered is, where are you going to make her get it, and will you be joining her? Because you don't have any, right?
I do not. I mean, that's news to me. I didn't hear that part before this. I thought she was already, decided what she was getting and whatnot. But it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to, carefully consider my options and really make a smart decision here on what I want to do. If I want to torture her or if I want, So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that one. Okay.
We're up front.
Hi, Cooper. Ariel Doss, Full Court Press. You've talked a lot about being the youngest player, and you've been asked so many times about being the youngest player and how you've been able to be in so many commercials and balancing all of that. But you mentioned earlier trying to still be a kid. What does that look like for you?
I mean, it's hard to describe. I mean, just being a kid, hanging out with my teammates, playing the game with them, playing the game with my friends from back home. Whatever it is, just doing normal things. I mean, I'm a regular kid. I'm okay at basketball, I guess. So, I mean, it's just, just doing normal things that any teenager, any kid likes to do. Not acting a certain type of way, just, being humble, being who I am, how I was raised by my parents. So, yeah, I think just, being normal and knowing that I'm no different than anybody else.
Second row on the right, Dennis.
Cooper Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. You're the best player in the country, but you're also a commodity. Your coach was asked yesterday what his favorite commercial of yours was. How have you been able to balance those two? How have you been able to balance those two things beyond maybe your parents? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of what the game and the opportunity that college players in this day and age, the opportunity that they have. So it's just, it's business, and then it's basketball. You have to be able to kind of decipher through and figure out and keep basketball the most important thing. Obviously, is the first thing. I think just having a tight circle. My family over here, all these people over here, keep me grounded, keep me focused. They do a great job of, keeping my plate as clean as possible, giving me as much free time so I can rest, recover, focus on basketball, and then the other stuff, the business stuff, we'll figure that out and make sure that we have it all planned out and scheduled so it's not anything too crazy. But I think just having a good tight circle and support system around you.
Staying up front.
Hi, Cooper. This is Terrell Thompson from Full Court Press. Coming in as a 17-year-old freshman, where would you say your confidence has come from on the court? Because it seems like you're never flustered in the moment.
I think it's just the work and the hours you put in. So many hours that I've been in the gym by myself with my trainer, Matt, this year. Just, working on the skills, putting in the hours that you just trust that. And then it's just come from game experience, being in the moments and just trusting what you've done to get to where you are.
Same area.
Hey, Cooper. Brian McQuillan, Full Court Press. Can you just talk a little bit about the team chemistry and like the brotherhood of Duke and how that kind of translated to your success and the awards you've received at such a young age?
Yeah, I think it starts with just having an incredible group of guys come in. 15 guys that are all putting the team above themselves no matter what. And then, just having such connectivity off the court. We hang out all the time as a team. We love each other and we love spending time together. So just that connectivity and togetherness kind of brings us together and lets us be who we are on the court.
Center just off the aisle.
Jackson Shank, Hoops HQ. Coop, how much credit do you give your mother towards your younger development? She just shared with CBS that she literally played until she tore her meniscus against you in a one-on-one in the driveway. What kind of dedication is that to your growth?
I'll say honestly, I don't know if she was playing one-on-one with me to better my development. I think she just, enjoyed beating me all the time, and that competitive edge is what kind of pushed her to come play against me. But both my mom and my dad, the countless hours they spent taking me to the gym at night, rebounding, passing me the ball. I had to give my dad a little bit more credit. Mom, she kind of got a little lazy sometimes, but dad would never say no to taking me to the gym no matter what time it was. Both of them have so much credit of just taking me to the gym. It helped. My mom was a school teacher, so she had the key, so we were able to get into the gym and, shoot around late at night, stuff like that. That was really helpful, but both of them, so helpful for me and just sacrificed so much.
Mom, microphone for rebuttal or corroboration.
I don't need a mic. I didn't go on purpose a lot of times because we would get into arguments while we were there.
That's fair.
And his dad's a little more even-tempered.
For the benefit of our broadcast media, Dad's a little bit more even-tempered. On the record now. We're going one row back.
Cooper, I know you haven't had a chance to see a whole lot of this city, but want to get your impressions of what you have seen, including the workout in the Spurs' new facility, or relatively new facility.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I'm overjoyed, the weather and everything, just being here. It's a beautiful city. The Spurs facility, obviously, it's very new, very modern. It's a beautiful facility, amazing top of the notch facilities and what they have over there. So it was a great place.
Up front on the left.
Travis Lee, WMTW TV Portland. Cooper, your family has followed you closely for a long time and your close friends. What do you say about the followers you have that have kind of extended outside of that have really, been everywhere to follow you in the last year plus? How does that make you feel? And how often, someone references, hey, I know someone from Norwich walked who knows you, or your family, or your mom, or your dad, or, a cousin, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's been an incredible support from all over the country, but in particular the New England region and things like that. There's two things I can look back to so far that were huge. The main event last year when we went back up to Maine and we're able to sell out the huge gym there, and you know, just the support that we felt. And then even this year, Boston College, you know, there was a huge main population of people that made that drive to come up and watch me. So just, you know, that support means a lot to me, and it travels really well, and I see it all over the place, and it just, you know, it gives me a lot of confidence and a great feeling.
To the right of the aisle.
Joseph Gonzalez, full court press. Cooper, you talked about playing or practicing in the Spurs practice facility. The Spurs are currently 7th in the draft lottery right now. What would it mean to potentially get drafted by San Antonio? And did you meet any former Spurs?
No, we didn't see any of the players there. I don't know what they had going on or anything, but I mean, it would be a blessing for me to get drafted from any team in the NBA. I mean, that's a dream of mine to play in the NBA. So I would feel completely blessed and honored to play for any team.
We want to congratulate Cooper Flagg on the USBWA Oscar Robertson Player of the Year trophy, which is forthcoming in the mail, just like Matt's name cards. Correct. And we want to thank Matt for joining us. Thank Coach Scheyer as well. Duke's going to head out to the practice floor for their open practice next.